Alrighty. Guys, it feels like it's been a while since I've made one of these, but we're back today with a little looting for beginners type guide. Or Get Geared, another episode of Get Geared, I should say. And today we have sort of a unique spawn point. The factory just kind of eastish from Solnichniy and just a little west from Solnichniy. This is kind of a poop spawn point, I'm not going to lie to you. But if you're like me and you like to take the spawn point that you get and just kind of roll with it for the most part, I guess this guide is for you. You spawn at a factory, pretty much. You spawn on the beach, you come across the street here. You really just have these big factory buildings, a couple sheds, a train station, tons of zombies. I typically don't really recommend going in here because, like, as a fresh spawn, you're not prioritizing industrial type loot. You want food, you want water, you want weapons, you want that kind of stuff. So really, you have two types of options. You have the ability to head east and go to Solnichniy and Berezino, or you could head west and go to Solnichniy. I'm gonna head west and go to Solnichniy, and here's why. Well, first of all, let's get this chicken. Oh, fucking Christ. There's one. 2 hits. Chickens have been giving me trouble lately, man. And I've been in for about 2 seconds. I'm already sick, so that gives us an objective. I can show you how to cure illness as a freshie, basically. But we're gonna go west to Solnichniy for 2 reasons here. I feel like I've done quite a few Berezino. I've done Solnichniy and Berezino, both going into Berezino. I have done one Solnichniy guide, but it was a direct Solnichniy spawn. But there's something close to Solnichniy that I've mentioned in a previous Get Geared video that I have yet to explore, and I kind of want to tackle that today and show you the possibilities that this special looting place can give you. So we'll dig a little bit further, a little bit deeper from, a normal Get Geared video where I show you the direct spawn point where I loot in that spawn point in my next steps. Because the factory spawn, like I said, is kind of a bad spawn. You really have to go somewhere else to get started, or just F11. But that's not always too fun. It's fun to take what you're given and just roll with it. That's how I have the most fun playing DayZ. But if you spawn here and you realize you don't want to go to the factory and you want to follow along here, just put the coast on your left-hand side, put the water at your left, and you can see the docks down there, you can see the gas station. That lets you know you're real close to Solnichniy, and we can come right here, probably find some food, definitely get some water at the well, hunting shop, medical, civilian barrack, all the same stuff that I've covered in my Solnichniy guide, Solnichniy Get Geared episode. So if you haven't seen that one, I'll put it up as a little card you can click on. Go check it out, and that is a more in-depth look at Solnichniy as a spawn point. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to kind of get through. I'm going to get to Solnichniy, loot what I need. We need something to build a fire. We do have this chicken, and we do need to be able to build a fire for where we're going to go today after Solnichniy. We're not going to head straight inland because I have, like I said, I have a little plan to show you guys today. A little 380 rounds. It's not a bad find to start off. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying 1.17. It's been my favorite update so far, and recently 1.18 just hit experimental, and I'm wondering what you guys think about that. I'm not the biggest fan of adding explosives right now. I think there's other things the game could focus on, and I'm afraid that it's a step towards more of an FPS milsim type rather than just pure survival. But I'm open. I'm trying to be optimistic about it all. That's the best thing you can do when your favorite game kind of does something that you don't totally agree with. Just be optimistic and hope for the best. That's what I've been doing. Played a little experimental myself, but I was wondering what you guys thought of it. Whether you like the concept, whether you think maybe the grenade launcher might be too OP. What do you think about claymore mines? All that kind of stuff. So yeah, we won't focus on that too heavy here because this is still 1.17 official gameplay. But just as a little side note, let me know what you think in the comments. Oh, okay, BK right off the bat. It's pretty good. But I imagine with where we're going, we might find something a little better. So as always, we're looking for some basic tools to get started. I'm looking for a knife or a blade of some sort so I can cut animals, and I can, you guys know me. If you watch any of my regular videos, you know that I like to put on the foot wraps and be stealthy, so we want worn or pristine rags. Not really worth using the blade on damaged rags because then you get a damaged product and then you have to spend more rags to fix it. Better to just have pristine or worn right off the rip. But yeah, we need a knife or like a hatchet or something to get that going. We also need better insulated clothing. Now these are best insulation shoes, but like I said, I like to go with the foot wraps. I sacrifice a little bit of insulation for the stealth aspect, for the stealth mechanic of foot wraps. And I think I've shown them off in previous Get Geared videos. At least one of them I know for sure. I showed them off in the spear and all sorts. Oh, our sneeze just gave us away there. IJ with a mag. I want a blade. Now the good thing about getting sick here is Solnichniy has a medical spawn, so maybe we can get lucky and find ourselves some medicine, but you don't really always need medicine to be quite fair. I don't really need that either. Nice. Got a fully loaded IJ. Got a knife. But yeah, sometimes you just need like a fire, some decent clothing, and some food and water, and you'll be alright. We do have this chicken. Maybe if we find a rope, we could go fishing. We got a nice melee here, so I don't have to use my knife. I'm gonna hold off on the chicken though, in case we find some fruit or another chicken or something. I'm gonna wait. Hold off on cooking. I don't like to rush straight into cooking. I like to take my time and see how much I can find, because then if I start a fire and then eat the little bit that I have, then I end up finding more things that I could cook and maximize the value for. It just seems like I wasted my time, then I have to run back and blah 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 blah. Oh, someone put a crate here. That's strange. We'll take this for the rags. And since we have a chicken and we might want to go fishing, I might just take all the rags that I can get in attempt to craft a rope. Oh, there must be a police car here. Couple police zombies. Okay, nobody flinched. I'd rather not fight all these zombies at once. Gonna try and stealth kill at least one of them. Or two. You have to be super quick with the stealth kills now. Zombies are very sensitive, it seems. Stick that stab vest on. Oh yeah, right there, police car. And a courier bag on that other zombie. That's a free backpack, because you guys know me. I love the courier bag. Wow, this one's tanky. Box of 9mm. But it's also, since we aren't really holding a lot of gear at the moment anyway. Man, we're kind of getting cornered here. As long as we didn't... Yep, we almost ruined it. But we didn't. It's also a free rope. We're not holding a lot of items at the moment, so we can just break it down for the rope with one of our fucking 3 knives here. And we'll be good. The soda helps. Some extra calories just to get us going. Not really a lot of stuff here. A little 9mm mag, a transceiver. Yeah, no like gun or anything. It does seem like there's trapped zombies in the medical, so someone's probably been here already. It's not really worth the looting, I don't think. We will fill up on water here at the well. And I'm going to quickly just move through Solnichniy, because like I said, this is not a Solnichniy loot video. It is rather a... what to do from the factory type video. And we're going to be going, I'll kind of break the news here. We're going to be going to Skalisty Island. So, you know, make something out of the bad spawn by going to Skalisty Island. Make it an interesting video, an interesting loot route for you guys to watch. I think Skalisty Island's one of the most underrated places to loot as a fresh spawn. I don't think a lot of people quite know that it's there, especially new people. They might see the island and be like, oh, what's that? But won't explore because maybe they don't know that you can swim to it. They don't know what's out there. But I will show you guys today that it is probably one of the best, if not the best place to loot as pretty much a fresh spawn. I've mentioned it in my Cami loot route video, I believe. Because Cami is probably the best spawn to go to Skalisty from, but Solnichniy is a very close second, outside of maybe Electro. So we'll just loot a few more houses here, trying to find some better pants or something. Maybe some more rags, because we've only got 4. Maybe a little bit of food, maybe another chicken. Just really anything to not have to fit. Oh, nice. A water bottle helps. So I'm gonna run back and fill up here. We do want to be careful because there was signs of players being here from, you know, all the locked zombies at the medical. But yeah, we do want to address this illness, which we can by just simply filling up our vitals. If your vitals are all white, the white food, water, temperature, blood health, all that, you do have a higher, that'll mean that your immune system efficiency is higher, and thus will make you better at fighting illnesses. And therefore not really needing medicine. Medicine, you might think in true survival game type fashion, or more typical survival game fashion, I should say. That might be the more common way for people to cure illness, but in DayZ you have a very proper immune system immune system. But essentially, with this immune system, it's very much based on your vitals. Like I said, you need the higher your food, your water, your food, water, temperature, blood, water, or blood and health. My God, I'm butchering this. The higher your food, your water, your temperature, your blood, and your health are, the higher your immune system efficiency is and the better chance you have of getting rid of illness. So, as a freshie, if you even if you find medicine and like say I have the common cold, I'm sneezing, I'm coughing, I'm in stage 1 of like a common cold flu type illness. Even if I were to find tetra or vitamins to cure it, and it does go away, if you don't fill these vitals, you'll probably see it come back. So sometimes it's not even worth just sprinting around trying to find the proper medicine and worrying too heavy about that. But rather just focus on filling up your food, your water, keeping your blood and health high, and then staying warm with warm clothing or sitting by a fire when it gets too cold out for you. Stuff like that is really helpful. I don't need that. Just some general game knowledge for the people there. That chocolate bar might just get us through until we get to Skalisty. You can see a bend kind of in the coast up there. Around that bend is where you'll see Skalisty. But we're going to travel on the coast. We're going to hug the coast looking for, the fishing boats. Again, just keeping the water on our left. It is turning nighttime here. A beautiful little sunset. But yeah, we're going to be looking for fishing boats, seeing if we can get, so I don't have to break down my backpack, a fishing rod, or maybe even some hooks would be nice, but we do have the chicken to make into bone hooks. And here you'll see 3 valleys. This is also an interesting spawn point that I'll probably cover at some point. Again, this is kind of, people consider this to be a pretty shitty spawn point. Because you spawn in, there are 3 houses here that you can see. There's a mustache house, a beige house, and a green stilted house. Which, if you don't know those houses, make sure to check out my call out guide. I'll put the clickable card up on the top right corner right now. Yeah, that's about it. If you go, there's a little road that leads you to a barn and then a couple other like smaller houses and stuff. But for a new player, this is a very difficult place to spawn at. So I will cover this one among a couple others that I still haven't touched on quite yet. I will cover this one in a future video. But for now, we're just gonna pass through. We're gonna check these couple houses. Oh, some jam. See? You hold off. You don't have to start a fire and be sitting in Solnichniy for 2 chicken steaks. If you just know the right place to look, you might get lucky on top of the TV, the fridge, sometimes in that little cabinet there, sometimes on the fireplace, sometimes, on the bed and the... Oh, I ate too fast. I ate too fast and I just ruined it. Oh, dude, noob mistake, guys. If you eat, especially very dense foods like jam and honey, if you eat all of it all at once, odds are you might throw up, and I just was not paying attention, too busy talking my fucking ass off. And I lost all that value. You get to learn from my mistakes, lucky you. I assume that's why you're watching this video, so you can watch me mess up or me guide you, and I don't know, I guess you learn from it, right? But the DayZ gods are kind to me today. They gave me a soda right after that. But yeah, you can typically, if you're not like me, ooh, baseball bat. But if you're not like me and you play with the HUD on, you'll know when you're gonna throw up, because you'll get a little stomach like turning sort of icon that indicates that your stomach's full and that you should stop eating right now. And then if you just stop, eventually it'll go away, and your food arrows will probably be going down again, and then you can eat again. But if you eat those foods, same with like cat food, dog food, unknown food, if you just wait to eat again, then you'll be good. I was just too busy talking and made a fool of myself. Hey, that's the beauty of DayZ, right? Even you guys might consider me to be a more experienced player, and even I fuck up and make mistakes, and that's just like that should give you a little bit of confidence. Like, hey, if I make a mistake, it's okay. It's fine. I'm not gonna. Doesn't mean I'm some dog shit player. Doesn't mean I'm terrible at the game. Doesn't mean I can't learn. Look at this guy. Look at this fucking fool with all these YouTube subscribers still fucking himself. You know? It's not a big deal. As, what does Bob Ross say? Happy little accidents? That's okay. In a game like DayZ, you really have to be able to get over things quickly. There's really no sense in getting down and like rage quit. Like, you're gonna die, you're gonna lose your progress, you're gonna mess up like I did and overeat or get yourself sick, and it's all part of the experience. And when you let yourself get discouraged when things like that happen, you're just putting yourself at a disadvantage and someone else potentially in an advantage. So always just keep your head up, learn from what you mess up, and move on and become a better player. I'm going to switch over to a little bit of gamma here. It is getting dark, and I know that in these recordings and on stream that, you know, it gets really dark out for the output. Rather, like it's decently bright for me, but then for you guys, it's a lot darker on the output. So I'll put the gamma on a little early as it's hitting nighttime here on this DayZ US official server. And as we know, night times can be dark. Oh, see? We hug this coastline in search of a fishing rod. Now I don't have to break down my backpack. Patience is rewarded. But yeah, I know people get angry. I think I left like 8 minutes of... It wasn't even that dark. Dark gameplay, nighttime gameplay on one of my original Get Geared videos, and people were pissed. I thought it was quite funny, but like how big of a reaction, like 7 or 8 minutes of dark gameplay, dark night gameplay gave, like, it gave so many people, made so many people like throw a fit. I was honestly very confused and very baffled that people cared that much. But hey, whatever. I mean, people get upset, they get upset, but we gotta remember, it's a survival game, and nighttime should be part of that survival game, especially if it's like DayZ, where it's an open world type thing, where it's supposed to be an apocalyptic civilization. You know, it just makes sense for there to be a day and night cycle, a weather cycle. And yet people will always complain about those things because they don't like to be challenged. Anyway. Yeah, so you can see here, just by keeping the coast on my left-hand side, we're getting pretty close. Over this ridge, actually, not really a ridge, but this little, I guess it's a peninsula, a little peninsula sticking out from the mainland of Shinaris. On the other side of this is actually, you'll be able to see Skalisty Island. But for the purposes of this run, we're going to go over to these boats over here. There's a nice little collection of rowboats. You can see a couple backpacks there. I'm not interested in the backpacks. I'm really still looking for a hook. Just one regular fishing hook would be very huge to me. Doesn't look like we're gonna... Alright, doesn't look like our prayers are gonna be answered here. That's alright. Well, we are going to use the cover of some of these rocks to start fishing. Maybe we get on the other side here. I thought that was a cut down little mini tree for a second. Now we'll run over here. I'll give you a glimpse of Skalisty. And then we're going to start a fire and do a little bit of fishing. And obviously, yes, we need the fire to cook the fish. And if you would like to be in the safety of a house, or if it's raining or something, if you were to keep following that main road that follows the coastline the way that we went, there's a set of 3 houses. You can maybe see them from where we're about to be. Yeah, you can't really. There's Skalisty Island. You can see there's a little bit of a castle there. You can see a little radio tower type thing, a sunken boat off to the side. The sunken boat doesn't spawn anything to my knowledge, so it's not really worth your time. But we're gonna keep heading this way. I'll show you the 3 houses. I'm not gonna go over there. Yeah, here we go. Couple houses here. You can go cook inside them. Also loot them if you need, you know, some more supplies, some food or something. I'm sorry, is it 2 houses? It's just 2 houses. But yeah, there's a fireplace and all that in there. But for the sake of getting to Skalisty in a timely manner, we're just gonna chop down. Yep, gonna gather some firewood. We do need firewood so the fire lasts a little longer while we fish. Perfect. Okay. We have a few things around here. I don't really need that. I don't know why I have it, to be quite honest. Okay. Gonna split these sticks up so we can make a hand drill kit. And I'll give you a little fire tutorial, I guess, while we're at it here, yeah? Why fucking not? Nice little cover here with all these, with a couple like rocks and stuff. So we'll make the fire maybe right here so we can also... we don't want it to be in the water, so we'll do it right here. So we have the cover of the rocks. We have... you know, it's close enough that I can probably do some fishing and still get the heat buff benefit from it all. And we're gonna put that piece of paper on the ground, and we'll light the fire straight onto the paper. I'll show you what I mean. So next we want to get some bark. Just 1 piece is good. Boom, piece of bark. While we're here, we'll pick up this. Yep. Another piece of firewood. 3 pieces of firewood should be plenty. We'll put the bark in our hand. We'll combine with the sticks. You can craft a fireplace this way. Or if you scroll down 1 little click, you can make a hand drill kit. And that is a single-use fire starter. And as long as you have, so if you're doing what I'm doing and you are making an outdoor fire just on a campfire here on the ground, you can just put a piece of kindling, in this case paper. You can also use rags, bandages, tree bark. Yeah, I think that's all of them. In this case we're using paper. And if you just put the kindling on the ground, you can ignite it with your drill kit, your matches, lighter, whatever that you're using. And you don't have to spend time crafting a fireplace, because then it just becomes a fireplace. And you can put all of your fuel in there and you are ready to go. We will start by skinning and quartering the chicken. I know this is dangerous, and I'm probably gonna get comments like, "Ugh, I never make fires, especially outside. It's dangerous." Just remember that fires are pretty essential to survival in most survival games, and that, you know, there's a risk and reward to almost anything you do in DayZ. Yes, fires are easy to spot. They're bright. If you're inside, you'll see the smoke out of the chimney, and so on and so forth. But how else are you gonna cook food that you might hunt, or get warm in a very desperate situation? Like right now, we're sick and we need a fire to help keep us warm as it's approaching nighttime, and to cook our chicken and hopefully the fish that we catch. So I don't quite understand when people, you know, like get upset in that way. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And just know that playing this game, you're going to have to take risks in order to succeed, whether it's in getting some sort of huge amount of loot by like shooting at a geared player when you might be a little under geared for the situation. Or in this case, if it's just basic survival, like trying to feed yourself and keep yourself warm and get over the illness. It's just part of the game and something that you kind of have to learn to accept. We ruined this knife here. Good thing we got a couple. If you're a little luckier than me and you end up getting a couple chickens and a decent stack of bones, sometimes even finding a dead fresh spawn to cut up, it sounds a little morbid, but to take their bones and you can actually you can get over a full stack of bones with a dead person. But you can use their bones to make hooks and to now make bone knives. You can combine 2 bones together by just simply holding those 2 bones together, at least 2 bones, in your hand. And it'll give you the option to craft a bone knife, or if you take a set of bones, I don't have them anymore because I made them in the hooks, and you go to like a boulder like this, you can actually I don't know why I pulled my bat out there. You can actually just make them straight on the boulder, and not only do you save your other bone because it only requires 1 to do that action. You're also just put some of this firewood on the fire, but you're also you know, you're just being more efficient with your items. Is all I'm trying to say. I could fucking speak. Gotta sharpen this stick and we'll just leave it here. Because we're gonna need that to cook. And now, make sure if you were to, like if you're desperate and you need to cook this chicken right now, make sure to wash your hands. You can see my hands are bloody. And I will get sick if I don't wash them and then I eat. So I'll get another type of sickness, which will make eating and drinking very annoying and very difficult. But since I'm going to be fishing and hopefully catching more things and cutting them up, I'm going to get my hands bloody again anyway. Oof, bad luck. That fish stole my worm. But yeah, since I'm going to be cutting up fish, hopefully, as long as I catch some, I'm going to be getting my hands bloody again anyway, so I'm just, you know, not wasting my time. Don't have to wash your hands after every time. If you're planning to catch a couple fish or hunt a couple chicken or deer or something, you know, no use in doing it every time. The whole hand washing thing. So you'll see that I did dig up 4 worms, and that was on purpose because bone hooks only have 2 uses, so whether you catch a fish, you somehow get some wellies or cooking pot out of the water, or the fish steals your bait, as you just saw happen to me, that will count as 1 use, and then you will get 1 additional use. So in hopes of catching 4 fish, I dug up 4 worms. So far we're 1 for 2. Hopefully we improve our odds here. We'll just, oh, getting really lucky. Yeah, nice. I recently, and you'll see the bone hook is now ruined after 2 uses. And we will use our last one. At least we caught 2 fish. That should be plenty, but just for the sake of space and since we're here, we're going to go one more time. But you'll see that I caught that fish really quickly, and I've caught 2 pretty fast now, back to back. I've recently learned that, just like in real life, like fishing corresponds to how you would normally fish in real life. So like, early morning or like later at night, the fish are a little more active. I'm not quite sure like the specifics of it, but fishing in DayZ is pretty parallel or on par to people how you would fish in the real world, which I thought is really cool. So you're more likely to catch fish early morning and etc., which is really cool and really good to keep in mind. So like if it's still dark out early morning, maybe it's a good time to go fishing, right? Alright, we've caught 3 fish here now. I'm going to place them all here, take my worn knife, and we're going to gut and prepare all 3 of them. And then I will go wash my hands and we will start the cooking process. Not bad. This is a pretty decent start for getting a bad spawn. We already have a rifle on our back. We got a loaded pistol. And we are going to have quite a lot of food here. And look, already, we didn't even fill our food up. Just by sitting by a fire, having good water stats, and keeping our health and blood up. And, you know, we have the heat buff, which helps. Our food is yellow, and we still beat the illness without taking medicine. So yeah, just a testament to how much easier that is than you might think. So here we will, didn't mean to do that, we will wash our hands. So why I'm doing this, first of all, why I'm cooking here and not over there. It could be easier to do all this and then go start the fire, whatever, but I'm sitting here next to the fire getting the heat buff and staying warm, burning less calories. Because I was kind of in the water. You can see next to my water bottle indicator down there, my hydration indicator, I am wet because I was sitting in the water. But I still got the heat buff because my fire was close by, so it's something to keep in mind when picking a spot to fish. So I picked this spot kind of in between rocks where nobody really has line of sight on me. I picked this spot on purpose so that I would have some cover, could fish, and have a campfire outside. And it turned out to be good for me because I end up beating my illness with while having yellow food. So there you go, just a quick it's almost like in the middle of a tutorial on how to beat an illness as a fresh spawn. Pretty sweet. But yeah, we'll just cook some of this fish. The fire should be good for a long time since we put all those logs on there. Yeah, we've only burnt through 2 while we were doing the fishing. By the time we finish up, it should still be going, really. But as I've said in other guide videos, nighttime, as you would kind of assume, means that the temperature gets colder, like outside, so your character will get colder and not be able to retain heat as well as if it were, you know, mid-afternoon. So, you know, things like fires, heat packs, and warm clothing, you know, high insulation clothing are very, very valuable, especially at nighttime. Because the colder you are, the more calories you burn. It makes sense, right? Your body spends a lot more energy trying to keep itself warm and regulated, so just as it would in real life. So that's why I like to do a lot of my cooking and stuff at nighttime, because I'm saving myself calories. I might be putting myself at risk to another survivor coming across me, but you know, I'm pretty confident in my ability to might talk my way out of things or potentially kill the other person, you know. And either way, even if you're not confident in your abilities, it's just the risk that you sometimes have to take in order to survive, and that's part of the game, like I said. So, I don't know, just don't be afraid to play the game is my best advice. I always get comments about, like, making fires and stuff, and how it's a big risk, and I don't ever do it because I don't want to die and lose my loot. But you can't really play the game that way if you truly want to enjoy it. You know, at its core, DayZ is a survival game, and you should be able to sit and make a fire and cook fish if you want to. You know, but just knowing that that's a risk and being accepting that risk and the potential of getting shot in the head while you're sat here cooking your mackerel over an open campfire is something you have to just kind of take on. And if it happens, it happens. You can get annoyed in the moment, but it's something you'll laugh at later. It's happened to me plenty of times. And that shouldn't necessarily be oh, I'm never doing that again kind of thing. It's like, man, I knew that might happen. I knew that it was a possibility, and we'll just try to find a better spot next time, maybe. But yeah, just don't be afraid to play the game and all that. The point is, you're gonna die. Like, it's a morbid thing to think about, but in DayZ, you are going to die eventually. And you are going to lose your loot eventually. So, you know, just make the most out of it. Try your best to survive. Try new things. And don't be afraid to simply just play DayZ. Yeah, that's the best I can put it. And I will still get shit in the comments for it. Well, actually, fires have a radius of XYZ, and I can see your fire from this far away, and I can easily kill you, and I go fire hunting. Yeah, people go fire hunting, sure. There's also people that log off at nighttime, so I don't know. But yeah, we'll just finish cooking up the fish. We'll start eating. Like, I don't even have a need to eat right now because, well, I beat the illness. I have the heat buff. My water's fine. I can chug this water bottle as well because there is a well over on Skalisty Island, which is very nice. But the biggest part, although we needed to go fishing to shore up our food supply, the biggest part about having this fire is so that I got the heat buff before I swim over, because there is a decently long swim over, and when you're in the water, especially now that it's nighttime, I will be very cold swimming, but with the heat buff, I won't be cold. I will be warm. My clothes will get wet and I'll have to dry them off, but I will be very warm swimming across, and I will spend less calories doing so. So that is the method behind my madness, and I didn't want to spend the extra calories sprinting over with the heat buff to the water from the houses, so that's why I did it right here on the coast. And yeah, there's a little taste of the method behind the madness, I suppose. So we'll finish up by cooking this chicken. We will eat a couple pieces of food just to get our food out of the yellow, and you know, so that we're not prone to illness, because being in the water will probably make the heat buff go away a little faster. But also by having this, you know, freshly cooked food in my jacket, I keep a little bit of a temperature bonus because the food is warm, and since the food is warm, it keeps me warm. So it's also a little strategy that I'm utilizing. So between the fire, the heat buff, and the little bit of extra warmth I get from the cooked food, going over to Skalisty will cost me less calories, and if I just sprinted over and swam as essentially a complete freshie. Another good strategy, if this is what you're into, we did see some dry bags at those boats back there, maybe putting some items you don't want to get wet in the dry bag keeps them completely dry. Hence the name dry bag. It's waterproof, so that could be a decent strategy as well. There's also little mini dry bags. They're not quite, you know, big enough to put on your back, but you can store them in your backpack or whatever and keep them dry. I think they're just called dry sacks or something along those lines. But yeah, so we're done cooking all the food. I will eat, you know, maybe a fillet or two. Actually, I should not be. No, this one's fine. I think this is one of the first ones I cooked because it's only got 30 degrees Celsius. I want to keep the warmest ones in my jacket so they retain my heat for longer. Actually, I might be fine just eating this one. As long as it gets me in the way, I'm cool with it. And we'll just eat as we loot. And also, if you find enough food, like I technically did, but I threw up all the jam. If you find enough food to get yourself into the white and in a healthy food calorie range. Yeah, we're in the white there, so we'll swim over. You can honestly just swim over with a heat buff. If you just make a quick fire, get the buff, and go. You can swim over with the heat buff. And Skalisty is a very nice, safe place to fish at. Especially if you go to the other side of the island where people from mainland can't see you. It's a great spot to fish. And yeah, we'll begin our journey. I think this is typically the shortest point. I'm not sure if that's completely true, but we'll go for it. And I usually like to swim from rock to rock and do a little sprint jump off the side of the rock here. I don't know if it does any cuts down on anything or not, but I sure like to think it does. as long as you find the right angle to get up on the rock, which I didn't. Here we go. We'll regen our stamina a bit, and we will jump off. That was probably just a waste of time. That was totally a waste of time. Cut that, cut that, cut that. But it could be nice to have those rocks as cover. If, say, you know, there's somebody on the coast shooting at you and you want to be able to pop a shot back or cover yourself. You know, it's nice to know that those rocks you're able to get up onto and shoot back from or something. Defend yourself a bit rather than being in the open water as a target. We'll just keep swimming. Oh, and look, there's actually... Oh, someone might be here. That's actually a bit scary. It's very rare for me to come here and see other people, but this could be an interesting situation here. There could either be someone here or they just left. I'm hoping they're still here and we don't miss out on all the loot, because then I would feel so bad. But either way, that's sometimes just how it goes. Again, some people might say, oh, I don't like the risk of the swim because I could get shot in the water. Or somebody could loot it and it was all for nothing. But again, you have to take risks in DayZ in order to succeed. And that's just the way it goes. So I'm gonna get my pistol out here just in case. So that's a bit frightening. We're gonna check out the chem light. There's a good chance they may have seen my fire and just got spooked. I don't know where the chem light is now. We definitely saw a light. That's for sure. Maybe it wore out. Maybe, you know, we're just missing somebody here. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna throw a gag in. And if you've watched me live stream or watch some of my tutorials where I maybe go over why I do gag my character, because once this heat buff goes away, all my clothes are drenched. Right, so I'm gonna be very wet and I'm gonna be very cold. And if there is somebody in fact here, we don't want them to hear my shivering. We don't want that to give me away. Now I can dry them off, but I don't want to sit somewhere and dry them off at the moment with the potential of someone being around the corner or something. But we are gonna check out this castle. This is probably the main attraction. Like, you might see the castle from a distance and be like, ooh, I want to go explore that. And yeah, can be some decent stuff here. There's not. This is not the main event, or like the main place to loot, actually, believe it or not. Alright, we're just taking a peek around. I hear a zombie. That's a potentially good sign that someone has been here, but it's been a while. Couple zombies. I think, oh, maybe it was just one. I don't know. Couldn't tell. But actually in this castle area, there's no place to go up. Like up on top of a castle. It's not like most traditional mainland ones. It's really mostly for show. But these little stands will sometimes spawn stuff. You got a compass if you like compasses. A sweater. It's actually pretty nice. If I didn't have this peak coat, I might grab that sweater. I believe there is another little food stand. It's really the two food stands in the castle walls, within the castle walls, that are probably worth your time. If I could find the second one, I always have trouble finding it, I feel like. There's also a radio tower there, and a shed, and I think on the other side there is a log cabin as well. Why can I find... Yeah, anyway, whatever, it's fine. Once this is it. Oh, this is it, yep. Couple sets of capri pants. A shame. Really not getting any luck with this today. But we did see signs of player activity, so... You know, but there's also... Come out that entrance there, or entryway there. There is a double-decker cabin that you typically see in summer camps, which, as you can imagine, will spawn hunting loot, potentially. Has a very high... Ooh, a locked door. It's a very high chance of... This whole island has a very high chance of spawning hunting equipment, which is why it is such a big attraction, or... You know, to more experienced players, because they know about it. Chicken, we don't really need a chicken, do we? I'm gonna eat the chicken in front of the chicken, in spite of the chicken. Fuck you, chicken. I'm actually surprised at how well my temperature's holding up. Yeah, more experienced players will know about it and maybe see it on their streams, but as a brand new player, you might not know about it, and... Here is me telling you all of what you need to know about Skalisty. There's a few houses that you might have to do a little bit of searching for. The castle. And there's this little village here that is very good. Very, very good. The whole island spawns... seems to spawn hunting equipment. Like I've said a billion times, I'm just kind of repeating myself as I improvise. I think there's a hunting shed up here, or hunting, like, stand. Yep, right here. Can't see it in the dark. I'll check it real quick. There's a box of Mosin rounds. There you go. Nice. So I think already, just for a box of Mosin rounds, that's a pretty decent swim, because there's a freshie. Essentially a freshie with, like, very, very basic gear. Finding a box of Mosin rounds early game can be a game changer. Yeah, I like to go up to the castle, check those couple, like the pub, the double-decker pub, the two food stands, come down, do that, hunting stand, and then I come down to this shed, and then we'll see the village just down the ridge there, and the village is where the highest yield typically is of, like, decent loot. Another compass. Here we are. And it doesn't look like much. It looks like maybe a little fishing town, but trust me, it has... Since this island is typically, or is technically like hunting tier loot, they can all spawn really good stuff. They all have potential to spawn like a blaze, tundra, mosin, ammo, scopes, and finding some easy guns and scopes early game. Look at that, mosin scope, hunting backpack. But you guys know I'm not a hunting bag guy, but so we're gonna stick with my courier bag. So, I mean, just from the house alone, you can get a taste for what kind of stuff you can find here on Skalisty. I mean, we're already set up for a Mosin adventure today with a box of ammo and a PU. Ooh, a CR rifle. That's an obvious upgrade over the bolt action, or the BK-18. Right, so you're getting a good idea of what can spawn here. Head torch if you're into head torches, sure. There's a hunting zombie. There's also a couple of fishing boats, which make it decent for fishing if you can find a pole or some hooks. This island loves compasses today. A canteen, but we have... Actually, I'm going to take the canteen because we just found a belt. We'll stick it on the belt. Nice. Some flares. Yeah, nothing. Nothing crazy. And here is another house. Tracksuit paints. And some chlorine tabs. Oh, a longhorn. Very cool. We'll actually eat this. Yeah, we can make it work. Just why not, right? Why not take a longhorn? Well, I actually really like the longhorn as like a you know, a close range, very powerful single shot weapon. You know, it's probably going to kill people with, it's definitely going to kill people with no vest protection very close, and it does pretty good on a stab vest as well, I think. It shoots 308, so I mean, come on. Just play a little Tetris, make some room for it. But, yeah, I mean, we didn't find anything too crazy. We did find a pretty decent rifle. We don't have any ammo for it, but we have a scope and a box of ammo from Mosin. We did find a hunting bag. And yeah, like it's sometimes you can, like, there's been times where I found a Tundra, a hunting scope, and like, look at that, box of 308, and like boxes of ammo, you know? Sometimes you'll get a really, really lucky feeling run, and sometimes you'll get kind of a poop run, or sometimes you get something in the middle. Like, we just went from kind of a poopy-ish run to something more in the middle with, you know, a box of 308, a box of Mosin, PU scope, longhorn, decent rifle. Like, we're doing pretty well for ourselves, I think. So definitely worth the swim. And there is actually another house on the other edge of the island there that I will show you. And then we'll wrap back around to the other log cabin closer to mainland Chernarus, and then I believe that is the entirety of the island. And we will wrap it up at that point. But let's go over to the houses there. Oh, let's check this as well. You never know. Heat pack. Well, we'll take a heat pack. Why not? Got the slots for it. And look, we just hit blue temperature, so heat pack will keep us keep us staying in the weight. And we'll just continue eating our food as well, so that we're not wasting calories. I think there's a feed shack over here too. I'm not too sure. I always forget. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's just something that I'm missing. There's some more boats down here. We'll definitely check out the boats if we want to, you know, keep thinking about fishing gear. If fishing is your long-term solution for food and water. Yeah, here's a dry sack. Here's an example of one. It's a flexible, watertight container. So, you know, if you have items that you want to protect from the water, if you're planning on going for a swim, there you go. Or from the rain, too. Another dry sack here. Whoa. Yeah, nothing. Nothing exciting. And there's another bit of a castle up here, but there's, again, nothing in it. It's just really ruins. And, you know, I've also been told that a lot of people like to make stashes here. I've even read some comments where people are like, "Oh, I run to Skalisty Island and I just check out the rocks back here for stashes." And you know what? For the sake of the potential, and for the people who are like, "Oh, please, I'm dying to know," we'll take a little look back here. Just a little bit of perusing. Any stash lovers? Anybody leave stashes back here? I'm probably not going to say so if you do. Which would be very wise of you. I'll just do a little swim back. Come on, there we go. You know what, while I'm at it, I kind of almost forgot to do this. Let's load up this Longhorn. This will be our primary for now, since we don't have ammo for the CR rifle. Just a single shot, hand scope ranged pistol. Shoots 308 though, so, you know, pretty powerful. And yeah, I'm not really seeing anything here. Yeah, I don't really feel like looking anymore. I gave it the old college try, whatever they say. But there should be a red stilted house here, I think. Let's get back to what we came for here. But I suppose if stashing things is your forte, if that's what you're interested in, then Skalisty is probably a pretty good place to do so. Because like I said, it's very underlooted, like underutilized, and people don't come here as often as maybe they should. But I will check out over here. There it is. There's the stilted. There's really not much over on this side of the island as far as I'm aware. I think it's really just another little coastal piece. We'll check out this red stilted. I really wish they would add like maybe nothing crazy, but a little bit more to Skalisty. Maybe so much. I don't know. I think it would just make it a little bit more interesting of an island and of a point of interest. But you know, I'm happy with the yield. Honestly, you can get some really good items here. We've gotten a box of 308, 2 boxes of Mosin ammo. We found a hunting bag. We found a Longhorn. The CR rifle, a PU scope. We found a lot of really useful, really good items. And honestly, I would consider this kind of a bad Skalisty run. Not bad, but you know, subpar. Maybe about par. But there's been so many runs where I get an early game Tundra or Mosin or some sort of rifle of value with ammo and a scope right away, right off of a Solnichniy or Factory or Cami spawn, you know, and that's huge. Sometimes you don't get that for a couple hours into your life, and this is within the first hour, or just about within the first hour. You know, that can make a huge difference on your character's playthrough and change how you start looting, and like you can maybe avoid a couple areas if you don't need ammo or a scope or something, and get right into the action or whatever you might want to do. So it's really cool to come and have this potential to really leapfrog your way into you know, geared status. Hence the name Get Geared of this video. We do have one more house to check out here though. That's just a little log cabin that's kind of off by itself. If you've come up to the little radio signal tower, that's usually a good guide on where you need to go to get to the cabin. So if you're like me and you like to do like a little loop around the island, sort of, I come up looking. Yeah, there's the castle, so the tower should be over here, kinda. There it is. You can see it through the trees. If you just go a little left, a little opposite of the castle, through the tower, you should see the log cabin down here. Here's a shed by itself. Dry bag. The can of tuna, nice. And the cabin should be down here. should be. Unless they've removed it, which I don't think is the case. Down here somewhere. I swear. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I swear to God. Bum, 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 bum. There it is. Just a little further down than I've remembered. Yeah, just out here. Got a nice view of, like, you can probably see Cammy from here, really. Yeah, so we'll loot this house, and that'll probably be it for this video. You know, obviously you can swim back and kind of go wherever you want. You can go straight inland. I think, what, Usta will be right over that hill or on that hillside. You can go over to Cammy, you can go back to Solnichniy, and really wherever you want. You just got to make the swim back over, hope nobody shoots you, and you'll be fine. And another PU scope. So yeah, as you can see, a really good island to come loot if you're looking for hunting gear, if you want an early game rifle, you know, anything of that sort. Again, we found some really decent stuff here. I wouldn't say anything too insane. You know, I come kind of hoping for a Mosin or a Tundra or a Blaze or some sort of hunting, more legit. I mean, the CR rifle is very solid, but I'd rather have one of the more high caliber ones, especially because we found ammo for the others. But yeah, we come out with a decent rifle, just no ammo. A Longhorn, which is a good early game weapon. We got a fishing rod. We've already filled up on our food. Look, our food is completely full. We still have more to spare. You know, we found a hunting backpack. I skipped it for my preference of the burlap bag. I don't need that anymore. Water bottle, like a stab vest. We're doing really well for ourselves, and this is 1 hour, a little bit over an hour of my, you know, my first life on the server. And if I can do it, you can do it too. It just takes a little time, a little experience, and a little bit of common sense to get geared in DayZ. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed or learned something from the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and comment maybe something that I missed or something that you really think I nailed. I don't know. I probably didn't nail anything, but I don't know. Nonetheless, I'd appreciate a like, comment, subscribe, and I will talk to you in the next one. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.